Okay, so we wanted to go over how to set up the Lucky Rcon program. Assuming that you've gone to SourceForge or to Google Code or have been on the Lucky Rcon forum, you have the install for Lucky Rcon. So if we double click on it, we've added several languages. We'll do for English, okay. Go through, we're installing Lucky Rcon version 0900. Our code falls under the GNU Public License version 3, so here's a copy of that. We accept the agreement. A little bit of instruction before you install. Lucky Rcon utilizes the .NET Framework 3.5, so if you're unsure of what version you have, you can use this website from Microsoft to help you find it. Or if you just need to download it, there's this link. It goes right to 3.5. Assuming you have all that, we go through and select an install directory. If you want to put it on your start menu, you can do that. Desktop icon, and just click install. Go through, installs very quickly. Once we're done, there's a little bit of instruction on how to set up the super admin. There's a video already in the miscellaneous that will help you go through the control panel for gameservers.com to set up the super admin alternative. And that's just a little bit of text to describe that, but I would see the video. So click finish. And okay, so I wanted to show you a slightly different version. I wanted to enable all the tabs to show it off, even though we don't log into the server itself yet. When you open up Lucky Rcon, you can double click on the desktop shortcut. You'll get to this screen. You'll be in the Welcome tab. Now when you're not connected to the server at all, you'll only be able to see the About and the Window, or the Welcome tab. So here's the information, Lucky Rcon, version, build date, so that'll be updated as it gets released. Here's our home page, which will go to the luckybingo.net site, and from there you can see the clan forum or the Lucky Rcon forum. Lucky Rcon forum, there is no registration needed, so you can guest post. So that's a nice little feature. I know a lot of people are upset that they have to register and give out their username and password that they like to use and an email address, so we don't request that. Version number, and then this will tell you your current status as you're connected, if you're connected, a regular admin, super admin, etc. Just some memory usage that we would like to use for debugging, just to make sure that we're not leaking memory, and the status bar, which will give out a little bit more information as you're going through the windows. The About tab, so we just wanted to give a little information on who helped make Lucky Rcon. So here's a list of the people that have developed and their associated tasks. Tutorials, so if you're not exactly sure how you want to set up Lucky Rcon, or you're just not sure of how exactly it should work, we'll have some YouTube videos that we'll fill in here. So the video that you're listening to right now will go in intro video. And then quick link right to the Lucky Rcon forum, and again, no registration required. So if we want to log into our server, we'll give it the IP address, give it the port, and then the password, the Rcon password. Now, assuming that this is all correct, you probably would like to save this information so you don't have to keep adding it manually every time. So if you click add here, input box says give us a name for the server. So I'll call it lab. So here, so as you have more servers that you'd like to admin over, you can just click on this and it'll populate the information. If you'd like to update the name, you can click on the name. Since I get canceled, I complained, but that's fine. If you would like to delete it, say that you move server IP addresses or whatever, you can hit delete. Now assuming that you click connect, and I don't want to do that yet, that'll go into the next video. you'll be able to see as a regular admin the players and debugging tab. So the players will allow you to show the slot number, tag, which does not get populated yet, but we're hoping that a future patch will allow us to see the tags, and so we can kind of give you the option of, say, lab tags or whatever tags you're using. They can stick out a little bit more so that you know clan mates. The player's name goes in this column, team, and depending on if it's prior to 6 players, they'll all be slot 0, so it's the free-for-all slot. But if an actual game is going, it will show if they're in spectate or actually give the name. So it could be NVA versus SOG. It'll actually give them the team name instead of just a number. Their score, ping, GUID, IP address. And one thing that we noticed in the other Rcon tools, score actually sorts by the number and not the actual value. So if you hit sort on other programs, it might sort by 1, so you'll show all the 1s. It'll show 100, then 1000, then 1500, etc. Ours actually sorts by the score, so it's a nice little feature, but we're not very proud of it, but it actually works like it's supposed to. If you want to update the values and immediately, you can click Update Now, or you can change the value for the delay between updates. So right now it's 45 seconds. Going into debugging, debugging is great in case you have a problem with how the rotations are working. Maybe the server's getting stuck somewhere and you don't know why. This will give you a blow-by-blow of what you've done within Lucky Rcon. And this will allow us to, the developers, to debug as well. So this is a great tab to get familiar with. As certain events occur, they will give you the ID, a timestamp, a local timestamp of your computer, and then a message. So we started it at a little after 4. I removed the lab name because I wanted to show this off, and then here's another one when I added it. If you want to save this immediately, you click Save, and it'll ask, okay, where would you like to put this? And inside Lucky Rcon's folder, you can do a log folder, and then select the text file and extension and name, and you can click Save, and so it just saved all that information to a text file. This should do about 250 events before it clears itself. We didn't want to make it too big because then it's taking up more memory to hold all these events. So if you would like to continuously save as events are getting up to the 250 event mark, check this box and it'll open up and ask you for a text file, which is similar to the one that we just saved, and you can click Save there. This will it'll write all the events as it's getting put on to this file, and so that'll be a nice continuous file that you can look through as multiple events might occur. When the server starts getting full, you might be kicking and banning people, so this will be great to go back and check the logs to see if maybe you kicked the wrong person, or if the rotation's getting stuck, you'll see it immediately that this hasn't been updated. You can click Clear to clear out this if you're comfortable with all the events that have occurred. Auto scrolling, which will keep the most fresh event within the screen. If you want to go to the very top or to the very bottom, you can click these two buttons. Console allows you to immediately query variables from the server. This is part of the super admin tabs. So console, server variables, match rotation, and message rotation will be part of this. Simply just enter a command, and once you've started typing, submit will be enabled, and you can hit enter and it'll go right to submit, and it will, if we're connected, we would get a response from the server and it would display it right underneath, tabbed in, so it's nice and easy to read. If there's getting too many commands, you can always hit clear console and it'll clear it back to this. Server variables will allow you to query every variable that we can adjust, variable name, and then the value. So we'll click on query variables and it'll give us this list. If we want to edit one particular variable, we click on it and edit it, and then update selected will be highlighted or enabled, and so you click that and it'll send the new value for that variable. Match rotation, so we want to go through and set up the match rotations. Here are all the current game types, and we can go through and look at the config files, and we'll go in a later video if you want to adjust these. Say that you have a custom game type or a custom map, so hopefully when mod tools come out we can easily add these. Select a certain map or a certain game type and then a certain map, and you can add it. So quickly we just move over hardcore capture the flag, 12 slots or 18 or 6 depending on which one you select. On firing range, we'll go through this in more detail in the super admin video, but I just wanted to show you this quick. There's a lot of functionality within this, within context menus of hiding certain game types and maps, moving maps very quickly so you don't get stuck with a certain rotation. If you want to move a certain game type up to the top of the list, we can hit bring to top and it'll quickly move that up. So that you don't always start the same rotation with the same game type and same map. So it'd be nice to be able to start from the middle or towards the end, and so this quickly allows you to do it. It's very intuitive. Message rotation is quite similar to match rotation. We have the messages and we have the duration, and a nice feature that we've added is having messages for specific game types or specific maps only. So if there's a specific game type where you want a certain message to be displayed but not others, you can easily do that. And so again, this would be in the super admin video. But I just want to show you this quick, just to get you familiarized. The information at the top shows the server name, current game type, current map, and then if the rotation's running, it'll show next game type, next map, and it'll always show the player values, or I'm sorry, the count for how many players there are in the list. So this is a brief intro. Thank you.